Hi there. I'm Lorry Chwazik, a National Quilting Association certified judge, and I'd like to share with you what we look for when evaluating quilts. Now, when a judge encounters a quilt for the first time in a show or competition, it is rather like meeting a blind date. Typically, the judge has only a few minutes to not only get a first impression of a quilt, but to further examine and evaluate it in order to ultimately determine the winners of the competition. Here's how you can make your quilt your blind date. Draw the admiration of the quilt judge and showgoers alike. First, think of your design to be just that, a reflection of you. When you dress for a blind date, you plan a wardrobe that is appropriate for your plans and reflects your personality. The same should be true when you plan a quilt. Keep the goal in mind. The design for an award-winning quilt should have a visual wow factor. Even if you start with a traditional design, adapt it and make it your own by changing the color, tweaking the pattern, and thoughtfully planning your quilt design to complement the action going on in the quilt top. All the design elements used to create your quilt, like the piecing pattern, applique motifs, embellishments, and quilting, should play together nicely. That is, every element should work together to create a unified look. If your quilt inspires a reaction from viewers like laughter, tears, wonder, or admiration, you know you have created a successful design. Your blind date has just gotten in the door. Next, you want to make sure your quilt has some substance behind the style. Just like you wouldn't want your charming blind date to show up in clothes falling apart at the seams, your workmanship must be accomplished enough to support and complement your beautiful design. For instance, strive for precision when piecing, especially at intersections and points, and maintain the geometric integrity of shapes and long lines. Applique motifs should be securely attached and edges should be smoothly controlled. Quilting stitches, whether by hand or machine, should be consistent in size, front and back. Make it clear to the judge that you have handled all the techniques used in your quilt with confidence and expertise. Finally, before sending your quilt off for the big reveal, make sure it is ready to make a good first impression. Your quilt needs to be show ready, clean and odor-free. Unremoved marks, stains, excessive lint, and stray pet hairs are never welcome on blind dates or show quilts, so make sure your quilt is presenting its best. So, there you have it. The way to a blue ribbon for your quilt begins by paying attention to the big three: design, workmanship, and presentation. Oh, and remember to have fun every step along the way, and you'll be sure to make that first date a timeless classic.